All right, welcome in. Welcome in, one and all, to the... I almost said it. Did you see it? I almost said it. It is the Rant, live from the E-Gallery in Dallas's beautiful design district on the RadioMisfits.com podcast and live streaming network. E-Gallery Studios is also home to Radio Misfits Dallas, so let's make sure that everybody gets their proper plugs. Can I also throw something out for another little partnership here working out of the E-Gallery Studios? The good folks over at ProPod Digital. ProPod Digital. For when you want your digital pod to be pro. That's probably not the slogan they're going to go with, but it's worth it. ProPodDigital.com. Check them out. Let's say hello to our new studio, ladies and gentlemen. This is another look that we're doing. This is the graffiti room. I could show you everything. This room goes, it's just nothing but graffiti. Okay, so now here's another wall. Right, here's this entire, I can't turn the camera anymore, but there's that entire wall and the wall behind. The whole room is just graffiti. It's kind of beautiful. Like everything out here at the E-Gallery Studio. Follow us on Facebook. That's E-Gallery Studio. That's Radio Misfits Dallas. That's follow us on YouTube at both of those very same things. We got to start hitting this more every day. It's about being regimented. Just talked about a friend of mine who's like absurdly regimented, and he's also absurdly successful. So are those things connected? I think probably. Me, not so regimented. That's what I'm trying to change about myself. I'm basically, I would describe who I've been recently as a plastic grocery bag blowing on a windy day in an empty Kroger parking lot. How about that? Is that poetic? Not anymore. Regiment. Now, you might be saying, Pugs, you keep talking about being regimented and all this kind of stuff. That's your whole kick this morning. What is going on with a different studio every day? I'm just showing how versatile we are here at the E-Gallery, at Radio Misfits Dallas, at ProPod Digital. I'm showing you all the different looks we got. This one I think I like the best. Why? Because this is kind of my workspace. So this is, I don't have to move anything around. I can just do it from my workspace. Let's say hi to the chat room. We got people in here. Who was in here? Okay, don't worry, guys. There you go. I just merged the chat room. Sorry. I know. Spent a couple of minutes without it. Let's see. The winner today is Cam Grant. Hi, Cam. Cam's in first. Taronda in second. Look at Taronda. Usually, I'd like to think of Taronda as a perennial pole sitter when it comes to the opening of the chat room every morning, but there we go. It was Cam today. We got Jen Hernandez. We got Peter. Hold on, let me keep going. We got Peter. We got Adam. We got Jenna. Jenna is the new princess of the chat room. Now, I don't want to make anybody mad, but Jenna's new. We always celebrate the new people who start hanging out with consistency in the chat room because we're trying to build the chat room. Bring a friend. That's what I say. We're also going to move all of this chat room over to the Facebook page, okay? I'm working on that. The Radio Misfits Dallas Facebook page is where I'll be doing all my nonsense, my non-show hour nonsense. So be sure and note, follow, like, all that stuff. Frankie B is here. We got Chuckles Nelson. We got Jen Hernandez. Hold on, let me keep going. Peter is here. Oh, hold on. I can't keep up with the chat room names. Leslie C. Ladies and gentlemen, Leslie C. Why do we mention her? Because Leslie C. is an old school chat room queen. Now, when I called Jenna our princess, I want to make sure there's a distinction because we got queens. Jenna is now a princess, which means she's special. And one day we hope she'll become a queen. But we still have queens in the chat room. No, I know Jen's in the chat room. She's like, queen, get it right. I'm not saying that you don't have the potential to be a queen, but we have queens, and Leslie C. is one of them. Also, you know who else is a damn queen around this place? An empress? I don't know if there's a difference, but maybe everybody needs their own cool-ass title. We got queens, we got empresses, and we've got the executive producer of today's show, which is Tracy D. I know I haven't been doing the executive producer, but Tracy tipped. And I was like, you know what? That's a nice tip. That's a really nice tip. That is like the kind of tip where I can go, ugh. If I can do that every day, if I can just get that tip every day, that's a great show. And I brought it back. So now she's the executive producer. Thank you. We're not really pushing that much this week. because we're going to have to push next week one more time into the salt mines. All right, what do we do here? It is a stream of consciousness rant. What is a stream of consciousness? It is a free flow of thoughts. No governor, no filter, no nothing. It's just me speaking nonstop about what? Not just random things, no. We're talking about the world as it exists in this moment. We are talking about the things that have happened on this day in history. We are talking about people who are celebrating birthdays on this day in history. We're talking about people who have died on this day in history. I like that because we look at the people who died and then we decide heaven or hell. That's right. We stand in judgment like the thoughtless monkeys that we all truly are. Then quarter four is the hot topics segment. Hot topics, headlines, current events, whatever it is the world is talking about. I will turn my stream of consciousness onto those topics and we'll just go. The show typically lasts about 2 hours, sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter. Been doing it now for 3 years, every day, Monday through Friday. Doing this version of talk radio, nonpartisan. I always say non-divisive, but we are. We're pretty unified. If I got to be honest with you, I love our chat room. There are idiots on the right in our chat room. There are idiots on the left in the chat room. There's people like me in the chat room who sometimes are friends with the idiots on the right and sometimes are friends with the idiots on the left. Not sometimes. That's the wrong word to use. I always enjoy my people. I always enjoy the spirited banter. Even in the many times when Adam is wrong or Barney and Byron are wrong, or Jeff is wrong. You know who's never wrong? The Queens. That's right. Queens in the chat room are never wrong. When do they talk shit in the chat room? Do they? You don't get that from an April. No, you don't get that from a Leslie. You certainly don't get that from our queen today, executive producer Tracy. So thank you so much. If you want to be tomorrow's executive producer, all you got to do is drop a little something in the tip jar today, but that's enough of that. Let's move on. All right. Bueno. Adam says, yes, Peter, my last name literally means queen in Spanish. Oh, is that what Reina means? I didn't know that. I mean, I might have known it. Like I might have heard it. I just don't think I ever put it together. I don't think I ever. La Reina. Like chili La Reina. Is that the Queen's chili? What? I don't know what that means. But now it's starting to come together. All right, Jen is good. Jen is comfortable with being princess for the moment. Now, you can be elevated to queen status, Jenna. It's just going to take, a couple of weeks. Let's get started. Today is the 24th day of the year, 2024. Month is July. It's 206 days. 206 days already gone from this year. 160 remain. So as we say around here, everybody say it with me. Get those New Year's Eve plans started. All right, quarter one, the first part of the show. We call it antecedently on this day. It's this day in history. That's all. It's nothing more, nothing less. Just me talking about things that have happened on this day. On this day, antecedently, in the year 1701, Antoine de la Motte Cadillac founds Detroit. Welcome to the party, Detroit. Detroit was founded by a Frenchman named Cadillac. 1701. That's old. Did you know Detroit was that old? It stands to reason because it was like, kind of east, kind of Canada. A lot of people fighting in that area. Yeah, all right, whatever. There's history in Detroit. There's a lot of history. Well, 1701. 1701 worth of history. On this day, antecedently, year of our Lord, 1915, the passenger ship SS Eastland. All right, for my Chicago friends, we're going to talk about the Eastland disaster. It was on this day, the Eastland disaster occurred in the Chicago River. Like 900 people died. Like 1915, 900. You know how they died? Here's what it was. The Eastland was a big old dumb boat. There were no regulations or anything back then. They didn't, in the company that owned the boat, they turned it into a tour boat. And what they do is they would take the Eastland and they would load it up with a whole bunch of people and they'd take their money and they'd, we can get about 10 more. They would just cram people on this damn boat. But the problem is, over the years, the Eastland had become such a popular tourist boat that the company decided to milk every last penny out of it. And they created upper decks and upper decks and upper decks. And at some point, this stupid boat became way too top heavy. So you can imagine, it's like this way too top heavy boat, right? So it's tied, tethered, what do they call it? Moored, whatever. It's at the dock in the Chicago River. It's at the dock, and all these people from this company called Western Electric, it's like their company picnic, their yearly company outing, like 1,000 people who work at this company picnic, or at this company, Western Electric, I think it was called. They show up for their company picnic. The boat is going to take them to Michigan City, Indiana, where there was a big like party going on. Okay, so that's what they're doing. They're getting on the boat at the mouth of the Chicago River in downtown Chicago. The dock's there. It's like, no, the damn boat didn't even leave the dock before the passengers loading onto it caused it to overturn, flip over on its side. While it was tied, it was listed. They said it was listing for like 40 minutes before anyone went, hey, maybe we should have people on the top decks move over to the lower decks. 855 people died. They just died in the river there, right there. Everybody, oh my God. It is the largest loss of life disaster from a single shipwreck in the history of these there Great Lakes. On this day, 1915, the passenger ship Eastland overturns in the Chicago River, killing 855 people. On this day in 1969, we did it. We did it. It was on this day that we could finally breathe a sigh of relief and say, we actually fucking did this, man. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about on this day in 1969, the Apollo 11 splashes back down in the Pacific Ocean safely, returning our astronauts from their trip to the moon safely. That was it. It wasn't just getting to the moon. We had to get them back. We had to get them back safe. We had to get them back without, and they had to live. That actually, you know what? Maybe today wasn't the day we breathed the sigh, but maybe we had to wait like a couple of years. Like, did they catch a moon disease? Can we do this? But I don't know, whatever. They all lived for a bunch of years. On this day, 1969, the crew of Apollo 11 splashed back down in the Pacific Ocean. On this day in 1980, the Quietly Confident Quartet of Australia, that's what they're called, the Quietly Confident Quartet. G'day, because they're from Australia. The Quietly Confident Quartet wins the men's 4x100 meter medley relay at the Moscow Olympics. Australia. Now, this was, of course, the Olympics that the American Olympic team boycotted. We boycotted the 1980 Olympics, so we weren't competing. And I guess this answers the question, if the American track and field guys aren't winning all the gold medals, you know, who steps up? And we learned, it was Australia. This is the only time in history. How come this is not mentioned more? This seems like something that we should talk about more. Oh, this is the only time in history that the winning gold medal in the men's 4x100 relay wasn't an American track and field star. We always win it. It's like we've always won it. We always win the sprints. We are year in and year out the fastest people. The Russians with all of their, you know, whatever, with all their dirty, they built, you know, basically cyborg athletes back in the 70s during the, with all of that, they couldn't make them faster than a kid from South Los Angeles. They just can't do it. I don't know. All right, moving on. 1980. A bunch of Australians are the fastest people in the world. I got to see them now. I got to see them because, you know, I'm picturing a bunch of like Crocodile Dundees and, you know, Steve, who's the guy who got stabbed to death by the fish? Who's the guy that lost the fight to the fish? That guy, Steve Irwin. I'm picturing these guys, but are we talking about like real Australians? And by real Australians, I mean Aborigines. All right, let's see what they look like. Hold on. What do you think? Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. They're known as the Quietly Confident Quartet. Okay. Let's see what they look like. This is very, very dramatic. All right, here we go. What? Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Hey, they're a bunch of Crocodile Dundees. Look at them. Look at them. Hey. No, that's not them. That's swimming. I just saw they're swimming. Hold on. Quietly Confident Quartet. 4x100. All right, let's see. Are there no pictures of these guys? Did everyone just choose? All right, you know what? It's not worth it. I can't find it. Apparently Australia has a couple of athletic accomplishments that they attribute to 4 people in their calling. Like there's a water polo team that apparently is really good in Australia, and they're called the Quietly Confident Quartet. And that's them guys that all look like Steve Irwins and G'day Crocodile Dundee types. I'm betting the 4x100 winners from Australia in 1980 were a bunch of Aborigine-looking dudes. I bet you. No way it's Steve Irwin with them little legs and those little camo shorts. Running in like work boots. Isn't that what Steve Irwin always wore? Did he wear chukka boots and like cargo shorts? He's out there. That didn't happen. On this day antecedently in the year 1983, this is a big moment for me. This was awesome. We're going to watch this. This happened. Okay, are you ready? I was watching this. This was a Saturday afternoon. This was a nationally televised game. I remember I was watching this with my grandpa. My grandpa was a huge Yankees fan. This was the game. It's in baseball lore. It's famous. It's what's known as the George Brett Pine Tar game. What is that? Is that even something we do anymore? Has anyone ever gotten in trouble? I guess Sammy Sosa, I think, got in trouble for pine tar like 20 years ago. But this is the first time I ever heard the word pine tar. Didn't know what pine tar was. Pine tar is that black, dirty stuff that you see on baseball bats. You ever notice how baseball bats, that's pine tar. It's sticky. It's supposed to help you with gripping the bat or whatever. And they have rules in Major League Baseball about pine tar. One of them is that it can't exceed a certain amount or go past a certain point on the bat. So this is a very big game. The New York Yankees and the Royals, both were very good teams. This was a nationally televised game on, I don't know, probably NBC or something. George Brett does this to put the Royals ahead of the Yankees. They're playing at Yankee Stadium. George Brett does this to put the Royals ahead of the Yankees in the 9th inning. And all hell breaks loose. Let's watch.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's gone. And now the Royals have the 1-run lead. George Brett has just homered, and Billy Martin and the Yankees want the bat. Look at Martin.
All right, so first of all, Billy Martin. Okay, can we talk about Billy Martin? That son of a bitch. I love this guy so much. He was like at this time, I was 8 years old or whatever. I was a little kid. I didn't really understand, what a man really was. But Billy Martin to me at like 9 years old was the most entertaining grown-up on the planet. I loved him. All right, so what's just happened is Brett has just hit a home run in the top of the 9th inning, putting his team ahead 4-3 over the Yankees. And Billy Martin comes running out of the dugout, the Yankees dugout. Billy Martin is the Yankees manager. Comes running out of the dugout, and he's got a problem with the bat. So now we're thinking, we're not thinking.
Well, what they're talking about, Frank, is that he's got too much pine tar, and you've got to have a certain amount of distance from the trademark of the bat and the pine tar.
And Nettles is leaving the field as if the game is over. No, he's just coming in.
I'm not sure. They might have a legitimate gripe. And the umpires are going to get together. George Brett looking around.
All right. George Brett right now is just simmering.
Want to know what's going on, and the umpires are going to get together and talk about this thing.
Well, Billy Martin bounced right out of the dugout.
I've seen it called before, Frank. You are not allowed to have a substance of any kind above the trademark, and I can't tell from here because everybody's huddled around the bat. I cannot tell from here if it's up too far. And now they're feeling it. See, to see if there's some sticky stuff around there.
That's Nick Bremigan with the bat.
This is going to be an interesting call.
Well, Brett isn't sure whether he has a home run yet or not.
Now the umpires are going to walk away and talk about this and go over the rules and examine the bat. See where the pine tar, see the label, the trademark is?
Yeah.
See the brown substance there?
It does look like it's
that's pine tar.
It looks like it is.
Now you are not allowed to have that pine tar up that far on the bat. Billy Martin walking around waiting for the which might be an important decision.
This is some Billy Martin bullshit. Billy Martin doesn't even believe that this is going to work. Billy Martin's just like, I'm going to use every trick in the book. Let's see if we can get that home run taken away. That bat looked a little bit dark past the line. It can be dark. Billy Martin doesn't think this is going to work.
First time in a long, long time I've seen the umpires huddle this long and have a meeting over it.
Well, we're going to see what's going to happen. They're going to...
Now that is the plate umpire, Tim McClellan, with the bat in his hand. Now they're going to measure it across home plate.
I've never...
Oh, also an interesting thing for us to watch for here is watch the bat, follow the bat, see who gets handed the bat, because where is the bat was a huge controversy in the hours that passed after this. The bat... Trust me, the bat, where did the bat go? Was a huge, did the Yankees have it? Did the umpires have it? No, someone from the Royals organization got the bat and ran away with it, like disappeared into the clubhouse.
I've never seen this.
I never have either.
I don't know what they're measuring. They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, he's out.
Yes, sir.
Brett is out. Look at this. Brett is out. And
he's steaming mad.
He is out and having to be forcibly restrained from hitting plate umpire Tim McClellan.
Where's the bat?
And the Yankees have won the ball game 4-3. Brett is called out for using an illegal bat or with the illegal substance on the bat.
Like I said, I have seen this before, Frank, and Gaylord Perry just took the bat away from home plate umpire Jim McClellan. He's going to take the bat. They're going to take it so they cannot take it into the American League office or wherever they take it to be examined.
Where's the bat?
Well, a Yankees security person and one of the umpires quickly are chasing whoever has the bat, Jose.
Somebody from the Kansas City Royals got the bat and ran away with it. I mean, baseball is the most baseball, man. Those dudes will cheat. Anyway, that was a great moment. I love that. Here's also something interesting from a perspective now that I think about. George Brett, you see the rage that man brought with him when he came charging out of the dugout. George Brett, he was looking to kill somebody. That was a scary ass dude in that moment. And in the aftermath of it, it made him. He got the cover of Sports Illustrated. He did all the talk shows. Oh, it was so funny. Remember when you lost your shit, George, and everybody thought you were going to murder that empire? What if that was Ricky Henderson? What if Ricky Henderson had done what George Brett did in that moment? Would it be thought of in the moment as the same thing, or would there have been a different narrative attached to it? What if it was Reggie Jackson? You know, and there are certain guys back then who were pieces of shit, who were just routine. And I'm not saying George Brett was, because I actually don't know if George Brett was a piece of shit. I have the highest regard for him as a baseball player. That son of a bitch. But guys like Pete Rose, you know, who are like immortalized. Pete Rose did a lot of stupid shit. Billy Martin. We just talked about Billy Martin. Billy Martin was a complete clown, and he was just romanticized for it. None of these things affected these guys. And I think it's fair to say, what if that was Reggie Jackson and not George Brett that came charging out of the dugout towards an umpire like that, so physically imposing and like, I'm going to kill you. I'm a pro at. I mean, I just think that the narrative would have been different, and that's interesting to think about. All right, let's keep going. What else do we have here? On this day in 1983, George Brett, the Pine Tar incident. On this day in 1998, some dude named Russell Eugene Weston burst into the United States Capitol and killed 2 Capitol police officers. Remember this? I don't even remember it because it was probably just that was a pretty big deal. A dude busted into the United States Capitol and started firing his gun at people. He was a schizophrenic, and I don't know. All right, let's go on. Quarter 2. Let's talk about birthdays. These are people who were born on this day, people who were born on this day. Born on this day, 1946, Gallagher. Is he cool? Absolutely not. Gallagher, the comedian. And I'm not talking about his comedy, because his comedy. Gallagher's comedy will make you laugh. That's it. That's the goal, right? That's the low bar. Just, can I make you laugh? I mean, I don't know if that's even the low bar. That is that is like the whole goal of comedy. It's, the way that he made you laugh maybe made you feel guilty. Like, unlike maybe, Bill Burr makes you laugh and you're like, I feel good about myself because I got his jokes. Gallagher's out there smashing fruit, right? It's funny. It's funny, but it's not like, my favorite comic is Gallagher. And I'll add this. He's a raging asshole as a human being. He was a dick. He was a total dick. I had a run in with him once when he was on a show I was on. Had to take care of him in the green room, and he was a dick. They're almost always cool people. When you're a little grunt producer on like a television show or a radio show or something, you bring guests in, you put them in the green room, you get them their coffee and make sure they're comfortable. Back then it was, would you like a newspaper or a magazine? That whole thing. They were almost always cool. Gallagher was an asshole. He was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, okay, sorry, dude. Sorry you do humor that nobody is going to say. He's one of the greats of all time, but at least you're cashing in. Born on this day in 1946, Gallagher. Born on this day in 1949, Michael Richards. Michael Richards. I don't care what he did at the comedy club, okay? He's the dude from Fridays who made me laugh. Remember him on Fridays? Remember Michael Richards on Fridays? He had this one. Fridays was like ABC's Saturday Night Live knockoff. It was on Fridays. Get it? Fridays, I had Larry David, Melanie Chartoff, Michael Richards, I don't know, a bunch of other people too. And it was a cast. It was just like Saturday Night Live. Michael Richards played a character who was I guess he was supposed to be a little boy. I mean, I was a little boy, but now that I look back at it, because I've watched this sketch a couple of times on YouTube, he was playing a retarded man. He was playing a retarded man who was infantile or childish in his ways, and his whole life was dedicated to his army men. And that was a great bit. It's still funny. It still makes me laugh on YouTube. Michael Richards, like a 20-year-old Michael Richards on Fridays, playing this like retarded guy who played with army men in his backyard. And he had these real elaborate battle scenes. It was, I don't know. I was really into army men at that time. So it kind of hit me. Like I said, I rewatched it. I still find it funny. He then would go on to be, from that, he got a couple of movie roles, Young Doctors in Love, where he didn't play the Michael Richards character. And then he got another one a couple of years later, maybe this is late 80s, called UHF. This may have been even early. No, this was before Seinfeld. UHF was before Seinfeld because that's how we knew him. So it had to have been before 1989. UHF is an incredibly underrated comedy film from that era. It stars Michael Richards. Does it also have Weird Al Yankovic in it? Or I don't know. Maybe it was just that kind of humor. UHF is a very funny Michael Richards movie. Then he goes on to be Kramer. And that's iconic. That's television icon character, all that. Doesn't have to do another thing again in his life. He can dine out on being Kramer forever. And then he goes to the comedy club and he lets a bunch of N-bombs out. And I don't know. I don't think we can define Michael Richards by any one act. I think Michael Richards is an incredibly complicated, very strange person. If you're asking me flat out, do I think Michael Richards is a racist? No, I don't. Do I think he's a guy who was raised in a certain era and probably has some preconceived societal conditioned ideas about lock your doors when you go through a bad neighborhood and all that? Yeah, I do. And, but again, do I think that Michael Richards is a racist? Somebody who would have white people are just inherently better than black people, and we must keep the black people who are subservient to us contained. No, I don't think he's that. I think we're all evolving. And I think Michael Richards had a comedy moment where he was going for it, and he crossed lines, and it was not good. But I don't know. I'm still going to always like Michael Richards. I do not consider him a racist before all else. I consider him an incredibly talented comedic actor who is strange. He's a strange individual. And a lot of these people are. They do things, they take risks, they push boundaries. And sometimes they are woefully miscalculating, as Michael Richards was. Moving on. All right, let's see. Birthday, born on this day in 1951, Linda Carter, my Wonder Woman. I loved Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. I was like 9 years old. I'm like, look at that. What the fuck? Look at that. In my life at that point, I had like Linda Carter from Wonder Woman. She was low key my favorite. Then you had Charlie's Angels, which were big players, but that was 3. That was like I couldn't pick. I couldn't choose. Who else did I like back then? Bo Derek. All of a sudden, she jumps into movies with 10 in like 1980, and that was a good one. But Linda Carter, born on this day in 1951. She's one of them all-time baddies from my past. Gen X hottie. Born on this day in 1963. How about Karl Malone? Huh? He's got a past. You want to overturn some rocks? Go jump into Karl Malone's Wikipedia page. Born on this day in 1963. Born on this day in 1964, Barry Bonds. He's a piece of garbage. He's I don't like him. Not only do I not like that he was like a cheater and all that, that's all awful, but above and beyond him being a cheater, he was a terrible, terrible dude. He was a rotten teammate. He was selfish. He was egomaniacal. He was everything bad about that 1990s athlete. You know, I always say like Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin are sort of the prototype for that thing, but Barry Bonds as well. He was out there being a jerk to people, thinking he's better because he hit ball go far. Screw you, Barry Bonds. Born on this day in 1963. Born on this day in 1969. How about her? How about Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo? I still go back to her. Look, obviously she's another icon. She's going to be around forever. We're going to hear her name. She's a celebrity. She's big time. She's A-list. She's J-Lo. Can't fight that. She's hot. She's beautiful, talented. Don't know if she's cool. Probably not. You know my rule about actresses. She's probably not cool. I keep going back to that Ben Affleck video where he and J-Lo, they're married now, I think, maybe for now. They're coming out of like, it looks like brunch or something. And Ben Affleck is walking to his car with his beautiful wife, J-Lo. He's got coffee in his hand. And there's paparazzi and they're taking pictures, and J-Lo and Ben Affleck are ignoring him. And he opens the door for her and he lets her get in the passenger side door because he's a gentleman. By the way, don't let that be lost on you. If you don't open the door, like for women, like when you're out on dates or when you're out in public, even if it's your wife, like if you go out to dinner with your wife and you pull up at the valet and you get out, sure the valet might open it, but you can get to open the door for your woman. That's just, basic, which I thought was actually really good for Alec Baldwin, or not Alec Baldwin. What's his name? Ben Affleck. They're like kind of the same guy to me. Didn't they both play Batman? Moving on. Ben Affleck, he's opening the door for her, and I'm like, classy. But then the cameras, the paparazzi catches him. And as he's turning, he slams the door a little bit hard. We've all been there. We're like, where our girl is just really irritating us. I'm like, I'll open the door. Anyway, I always go back to that video. I love that video. You can find it. Every guy has been there with a girl where he's just like, he slams the door a little bit hard. Like, let's get the fuck out of here. I am done. I can't wait to get home and go into a different room than you're in. That's kind of how it goes. Happy birthday, J-Lo. Born on this day in 1969. Born on this day in 1970. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Okay, let's play a game here. You know the game F, Marry, Kill? That's a little bit harsh. I've been playing F, Marry, Kill with my son all his life. We play a version of F, Marry, Kill. We call it, because we've been playing it all his life, we call it Kiss, Marry, Kick. Get it? Kiss. Who you want to kiss? Who do you want to marry? And who do you want to just kick to the curb? Kiss, marry, kick. That's how you play fuck, marry, kill with kids, okay? It's kiss, marry, kick. So let's do a kiss, marry, kick with these birthday girls. We got Rose Byrne. Rose Byrne was born here. Let me show you Rose Byrne. Actually, do I need to show you Rose Byrne? Should we show you these? We should show you these. All right, we'll do that. All right, so first up, we'll do Rose Byrne. Rose Byrne is an Australian actress. I know her from a show called Damages, but she's been in a whole bunch of other stuff. Here's Rose Byrne. Let's give her a look. There you go. Remember, we're playing Kiss, Marry, Kick, right? Kiss, Marry, Kick. So first, born on this day in 1979, Australian actress Rose Byrne. Kiss, Marry, Kick. All right, the next one, born on this day in 1982. Elizabeth Moss. Yeah, she's in everything good, right? She's in, hold on, let's do Elizabeth Moss now. There we go. Boom, there she is. Elizabeth Moss, Handmaid's Tale. She was Zoe Bartlett in The West Wing, right? Zoe Bartlett. Then you got, what else? Oh, Mad Men. Of course, she's Peggy. She's Peggy from Mad Men. Okay, so there you go. Born on this day in 1982, Elizabeth Moss. Born on this day in 1979, Rose Byrne. Also born, okay, here we go. Born on this day in 1982 as well, same day as Elizabeth Moss. How about this one for our Kiss, Marry, Kick game? Wait, where is she? Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, born on this day in 1982. How about Anna Paquin, huh? We like Anna Paquin, don't we? Oh, we didn't see her. Sorry, I didn't share her. Could really use a producer, but that's okay. All right, Anna Paquin. There you go. Born on this day in 1982. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Here's my order for Kiss, Marry, Kill. One of these has to be kissed, one of them has to be married, and one of them has to be kicked. I said kill. I know I made it, but we're playing the kids' version. All right, Anna Paquin. What are we doing with Anna Paquin? Anna Paquin, we're going to kiss. We're going to kiss Anna Paquin. All right. Anna Paquin, she was so hot in True Blood. You know, I mean, I don't know if she's like hot, but she was really Sookie Sackhouse. She was kind of hot. So if I got to like make out with one, kiss, it's going to be her. Anna Paquin, congratulations. You get to kiss me. Born on this day in 1982. All right, kiss. Let's go with, okay. All right, let's go with Elizabeth Moss now. So Anna Paquin is who I'm going to kiss. And let's see, Elizabeth Moss. Yeah, we're gonna kill her. Sorry, we're gonna get rid of Zoe Bartlett. We're gonna get rid of Peggy from Mad Men. We're just gonna kick her to the curb. She is done, which of course means that we're going to marry. Here we go. We're marrying the lovely Rose Byrne. All right, boom. There we go. That's Kiss, Marry, Kick. Once again, recapping for the birthday girls, we are going to be kissing Anna Paquin. We are going to be kiss, marry. We're going to be marrying Rose Byrne, who you see there, and we will be kicking to the curb Elizabeth Moss. Happy birthday, girls. Congratulations to you, Rose Byrne. You get to marry me. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Do we have any other birthdays? Is that it? Okay, that's it for birthdays. There we go. The birthday list is over. Let's now do the deads. These are people who have died on this day, people who have died. Dead on this day in 1980, the great, the number one, in my opinion, comedic actor of all time. How about it? Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers. Oh, man, y'all know how much I love Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers draft. All right, top of my head, Peter Sellers. My 5 favorite Peter Sellers moments. We're going to do Strangelove, Dr. Strangelove. He's nominated for an Academy Award, obviously, for his roles, plural, in Strangelove, which was both a film that was critically acclaimed, commercially successful, and its lead actor played 3 pivotal characters in the film, so he gets nominated for an Academy Award. Didn't win. Who won? Who turned in a better acting performance in 1963, something like that, than Peter Sellers in Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove? Nobody. Number two off the Peter Sellers draft. First one, first pick, Dr. Strangelove. Second one, let's go with another Kubrick film. He was so great with Kubrick. Lolita. Claire Quimby? Isn't that what, was it Claire Quimby? Claire Quimby is who he played in Lolita. So good. Number 3, we're going with Inspector Jacques Cousteau in The Pink Panther, the original one, the original Blake Edwards Pink Panther. Number 4, his final film. So good. Being There. Oh, if you guys haven't seen the movie Being There, it is so well done. It's the story of a retarded man. Story of a severely mentally limited man, let's put it that way, who is aging, played by Peter Sellers, who is aging, and he has lived on the property of this incredibly powerful man for years and years. He's the gardener. He helps out with, little handyman stuff, but he lives in this very powerful man's house. And when the very powerful man dies, all the world, descends upon this house to learn more about the great man. Like imagine I don't know, dudes like a Dick Cheney type or, just some like super connected, super powerful guy. And the whole world descends and all they find at his house is this Peter Sellers character who is the gardener, and he's an idiot. And all he knows is what he watches on TV. He just repeats what he sees on TV. But in the presence of all of these fancy, highfalutin people, they think he's a brilliant genius, and they make him a superstar, and he becomes incredibly influential, and he's retarded, basically. He's just saying what he heard on TV, but he doesn't even say it like that. He says it like he came up with it. Anyway, Being There, man, that is such an incredible film. And in the career arc of Peter Sellers, it was kind of a comeback. He had taken a number of years off, and he had come back with Being There, and it was a smash hit. He was nominated for Academy Awards, and then he died. That's unfortunate. Number 4 off the books there. Number 4 in the draft, Peter Sellers, Being There. Number 1 is Dr. Strangelove. Number 2 is Lolita. Number 3 is The Pink Panther. Number 4 is Being There. Number 5 is a movie that I bet you can't even find anywhere. It is so brilliant. It is one of the most incredible comedic performances you've ever seen over the course of 2 hours. But unfortunately, it's ethnically inappropriate by 2024 standards. So you will not be seeing Peter Sellers' magnum performance in the film The Party. The Party. You just distance yourself from whatever it is that's got you upset about what you're seeing in The Party and just watch the comedic performance of Peter Sellers. It's the greatest thing you've ever seen. You think Jim Carrey in The Mask was incredible? No. Peter Sellers in The Party. Here's the premise. It's a big Hollywood party in the hills, like a swinging 1960s Hollywood party. You know, all the celebrities are there. Peter Sellers portrays a Bollywood movie star. He is a very, very famous Bollywood movie star who somehow finds himself at this Hollywood party with all these other kinds of actors. And essentially, this entire film is just a camera following this Peter Sellers character around this party as he bumbles his way through conversations and creates mayhem wherever he goes. Very, very Mr. Bean-like. In fact, Mr. Bean will tell you, Rowan Atkinson, and be like, I'm just a poor man's Peter Sellers. I am ripping off Peter Sellers. It's so great. The Party. There you go. That's the Peter Sellers draft on this, the anniversary of his death in 1980. Dr. Strangelove at number 1, Lolita at number 2, The Pink Panther at number 3, Being There at number 4, and The Party, if you can find it, at number 5. Where did Peter Sellers go? Why, Peter Sellers went to hell. Of course he did. Peter Sellers was a pervert. Peter Sellers was a drug addict. Peter Sellers was a completely screwed up mentally. He was a genius. Genius is he would inhabit new characters for like months at a time. Kaufman-like, except more commercially viable, I guess. Anyway, Peter Sellers, he went to hell because he was probably not a great human. But my God, what an incredible comedic performer. Dead on this day in 1980. Dead on this day in 2012. We're going to go ahead and move him on up. Sherman Hemsley. I'm moving on up. Barney Stiles says that Rex Harrison. It's Rex Harrison. Rex Harris? I think it's Rex Harrison. It is Rex Harrison. Rex Harrison won for My Fair Lady. Oh my God. Yeah, great. Yeah, Rex Harrison, My Fair Lady, was better than Peter Sellers playing three characters, including the titular character of Dr. Strangelove. He played President Merkin. He played Dr. Strangelove, and he played the British lieutenant who was trying to stop World War III over there at the Air Force Base. Anyway, but go ahead, give it to Rex Harrison, who, sang songs in a musical. Hollywood. Sherman Hemsley, George Jefferson, dead on this day in 2012. He's going to heaven. Dead on this day in 2020. Oh, he's Regis Christ. Regis Christ. We got to put Regis in heaven. I'm putting Regis Philbin, who died on this day in 2020, in heaven. Used to run around calling him Regis Christ. Why? Because he saved the ABC network. Regis Philbin, man, the last 20 years of his life, he had power like he had never had before. Why? Because he saved the ABC network. The ABC network was going nowhere. They were having all kinds of problems in the late 90s. They were struggling, and they were about to fall into third position after having been number 1 for a period of time when I was a kid growing up, with Happy Days, Charlie's Angels, and all the Aaron Spelling stuff. I mean, ABC was a juggernaut, but then, now here we are. They're falling apart. They don't know what they're doing. They had no money to produce any shows. They were essentially bankrupt. They were owned by a company that was in bankruptcy. So what did they do? They said, what if we just give $1 million away and have Regis ask questions? That's right. Who wants to be a millionaire? you remember that show? That saved ABC. That damn show became so big at such a low cost to produce. It got them back on the right track. And then Disney came in and bought them and it all, But Regis Christ, the savior of ABC networks, dead on this day in 2020. He's going to heaven. I think I'm not going to put Regis Philbin in heaven. I like that dude. Talked to him on the phone once. Never met him, but I liked him. All right, that's going to do it. Those are the first 3 quarters of today's show. I'd love to remind you all that Tracy D is our executive producer. Thank you so much to Tracy D for tipping the show. If you would like to be tomorrow's executive producer, all you got to do is drop a little something, and you can have that honor. Look at us. We got Sam. My old buddy Sam is there. Barney, Peter, anybody else? All the guys, Frankie B. Okay, very good. Let's move on to the subjects of today. First one, big one, Biden speaks tonight. This is such a misfire. This is such a mistake. Joe Biden, President of the United States, is going to probably from the Oval Office. They don't want him standing. You want to just minimize all of the potential problems. So you don't want Biden standing. He'll be sitting at a desk, probably from the Oval Office, be very statesmanlike. He might be able to pull it off. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be practiced, I'm certain. But maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe Biden ought to just be like, hey, man, look, here's what's going on. That would be nice. Man, unburden Biden, right? And you want to talk about a lame duck. He's not running for anything. He doesn't have to. He can just basically executive order everything that he's ever wanted to do. Let's see what kind of swag a Biden with nothing to lose and all the power in the world for the next 4 months. 4 months, January 20th, right? Let's see what his new swag is like on TV. He blew it, though. They blew it. This is the LG. This is the LBJ moment. The LBJ moment where LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, took to our nation's airwaves, looked directly into the camera and said that I will not seek nor will I accept my party's nomination for president of the United States. It blew everyone's mind. It happened in real time. We all watched it. We all heard about it. That moment is crystallized now because of that speech that he gave. That moment is crystallized in history. 1,000 years from now, when they're looking at our ancient civilization, they will find a way to see that moment again. Joe Biden didn't allow himself that moment of great, look, PR. We're talking about PR. Johnson came across as an apex statesman in that moment. Presidential. This is what's the best interest of the country. Biden didn't have that moment. Biden had something leak on Twitter, and then CNN ran with it, and then Biden himself put out a tweet. They totally blew it. This is what I mean about Democrats when I say Republicans are masters at the own goal. But Republicans are hypocritical, and they're constantly projecting what they're doing onto other people. Look what they're doing, not what I'm doing. They're constantly doing that, and they're really good at their own goals. Democrats are dick trippers. Democrats, they have like something that could be good, and they just need to figure out how to sell it to the rest of us, but they can't because they take all the wrong paths. They trip over their own dicks. They ruin things. They're fools. This is why I can't stand either party. But this was a dick trip. This was they should have. What should have happened was there should have been Monday. There should have been an announcement from the networks that the president of the United States, Joe Biden, in the midst of all of this speculation about will he drop out, won't he drop out, is he in it? He keeps saying he's in it. He's got people. The money's drying up. Amidst all of that. He should have gone live to the nation either on Sunday night, if they felt the story was getting out too quickly, or Monday night. They didn't. It's been 4 days. We already got polls out about, Trump versus Harris. It's been 4 days. Today he's going to go on TV. It's the moment. Mood is wrong. Moment has passed. Dick tripping Democrats. They can't even solidify a historic moment for this dude. Nobody, because of it, nobody is going to remember where they were when they heard he wasn't running. They aren't. There's not one thing. This is what makes great historical moments. is that we as humans, we relate to it by going back to where we were when we first heard the news. That's the most basic way of relating to something. Oh yeah, this takes me back. That's what the historical moment is so powerful. That's why the historical moment or these moments are so powerful, because they take us instantly back. I don't have that for Biden. Where were you when you heard? I don't know. I think I overheard somebody talking about it with somebody else in line at Starbucks, and then I went and I looked it up online. There isn't that moment. Dick trippers. So anyway, Biden's going to talk today. I mean, I guess when we're talking about, alien civilizations finding the ruins of ours in 1,000 years, they may find this. They may find Biden. So for them, it'll be like, here's the historical moment. So I don't know. But we all know, living in the moment, it didn't play out the way we like. Played out in drips and drabs. Whatever. He's going to talk. I'm going to watch. Let me hear what he has to say. All right. Biden speaks. That's tonight. Don't know when. Probably going to be everywhere. Let's all tune in, shall we? All right. Here we go now. We're going to start doing this with regularity. This is not a political show, but oh my God, do I love a circus. I love the circus. I can't believe they stopped Ringling Brothers. We don't know what those elephants did to deserve those beatings. Those elephants might have been completely out of line, is all I'm saying. Just offering that up. I love the circus. And what we got here is a real live electoral circus, ladies and gentlemen. It was boring. It was something that I wasn't even dedicated. I didn't even watch a minute of the Republican National Convention. Why? Because there was no drama. I'm going to tune in to watch Hulk Hogan. There was nothing. I don't tune in to watch Hulk Hogan normally. Why? There was no drama. They didn't. Trump was the obvious guy. He was going to win, and he came out, and it was basically a pep rally for those people who are already voting for that guy. So for me, as an American in the middle, I'm going, it's just going to be propaganda. It's going to be crazy, weird, rah-rah stuff, and I'm not on that team yet. Maybe I will be, maybe I won't, but I don't. Anyway, I wasn't going to watch. Actually, I was going to watch the Dem one because I thought that it could be crazy, because I thought that there could be some, shall we say, civil unrest, as my city of Chicago is known for during such times as are about to come on us. But now the Democratic, it's going to be can't miss, I think. Because I'm not entirely sold that Kamala Harris is, there is a big wave of propaganda coming from organized and established Democratic corners that are saying, there's no doubt Kamala's ours. Kamala's the one. We are unified behind Kamala. But then I see other people. Who are like, isn't this what a convention is for these kinds of things? Should something happen to a candidate before the convention, isn't there a built-in mechanism where we can all come together as delegates from the states and figure out who the best person is? So I still think that's called an open convention. And I still think that that's what we're going to get. It's only been 72 hours. And look, the heat behind the Kamala Harris campaign cannot be denied. Can't be denied. You can hate it, or you can snicker at it and roll your eyes like I am. Like I'll give you this about Kamala Harris. They are really going, whatever. You know what I say about Kamala Harris? She ain't a white woman. I don't know what she is. What I would think, if you had to put me to the test and I didn't know who she was, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know her background. But if I didn't know her background and you had to put me to the test, you say, what is she? I'd go, well, she looks like an African-American. It's just what I would say. It's what she looks like. But it's not what she is. And I don't know if that matters. But they seem to be really using the African-American aspect of her background, which I don't think checks out. But okay, maybe, whatever. It doesn't matter. She is still a woman of color who, and this is the greater point that is lost on nitpickers who are like, she's not even African-American. Well, okay, but again, what did I just tell you? If I saw her walking down the street, I would think she was a black woman. She looks like a black woman to me. So don't tell me that her experience is somehow different than that of an African-American. And I think that's the greater thing that she's trying to speak to. Well, again, I'm a middle-aged white guy. So that's not a horse that I'll be tracking, right? That's her thing. She represents that. Don't think that isn't a very strong and underrepresented voting group in this country that she's going to tap into. I still don't know that she's going to be the one, though. You know what I like? You know what my favorite rumor is? My favorite rumor is that Barack Obama is pushing for Devil Patrick, which I don't know if it's good or bad that Barack Obama is pushing for him, but I don't mind Deval Patrick. I actually think he would be interesting. I'd like to see him go up against Trump. Nah, I really want to see Kamala go up against Trump in a debate. And by the way, as far as the debates go, we don't know what's happening with debates. ABC is supposed to host the next one, but apparently Trump team doesn't want ABC because they said some mean things about Trump. That's what he said. Please, I don't mean to make it sound stupid, but he said in an interview yesterday, yeah, I'm not sure about ABC. They were very mean to me. It's like, okay. So his people are looking for a home game. They want to move it over to Fox News, and Kamala Harris is like, yep, let's go. Come on, no problem. I don't think he wants to debate her. I think he knows. My kryptonite theory, I think, is real. I think that all powerful country club white old guys, I think they're afraid to publicly fight with black women. I do. I think they are. I think they don't know. I think they're out of their comfort zone. I think they're always ready to fight with another middle-aged white man, like a banker or a lawyer or something. They're always up for that. But I'm telling you, Donald Trump's never ridden a city bus. He's never seen, someone try and take a black woman's seat. He's never seen what happens. They're scary. First of all women, all mothers, let's put it that way. All women who have had children suddenly are scary. Why? Because they've proven and demonstrated to the world that their capacity for pain is way further than what we understand, that we've ever experienced. But man, I'm telling you, this all goes back to one specific experience that I had on a CTA bus around about 1994 in Chicago, where I saw two women beat up this little Hispanic boy. He wasn't a little Hispanic boy. He was like 16 or 17 years old. And there were these two women. There were these two probably women in their 30s, black women. And there was some scuffle. I can't pretend to know the details because I wasn't paying attention. But there was a scuffle in these two like 30-year-old black women who were in working, like they were going to work. Like, they were like, yeah, I'm a secretary at a downtown. They just beat the fuck out of like this 16-year-old little Mexican kid. I'm like, God damn, don't fuck with a black lady on a city bus. Anyway, I think that's a lesson that Trump might end up learning in the debate. Because if Trump's going to go gloves off, that's what you got to worry about with black women. Black women are allowed to do and say whatever they want publicly. They are, because, it's the whole black woman thing. I have been oppressed at a level you cannot possibly understand. So when they go for your throat in public, don't think that they're going to coddle you. Trump knows there's a line with black women. Not with other people, not with like white dudes in a boardroom setting. He will fucking kill you. Trump is a monster. See what Trump did to Jeb Bush? Remember that? Remember what Trump did to like 10 other white Republican dudes in suits who have law degrees? He fucking killed them. I just think it is a different metric when it's a sassy black lady who's like, let me tell you something, white man. She can say stuff that the public isn't going to get as freaked out about. That he can't. He can't. Although, let's be honest, he can pretty much say whatever he wants, and only a certain segment of the public gets freaked out by it. But point is this, there are going to be a lot of independent voters, and yes, I can't believe it, but there are people in this country who have still not made up their mind. I mean, there are people who are like, I can't believe, I believe that there are people who have not made up their mind on Kamala Harris because nobody's really given her any thought. People got to be considered that now. I don't believe there's anybody in this country who is waking up today and going, I think I might like Trump. No, you either already like him and have for like 8 years. Like, there's no new people. There's not like, I voted for Obama twice, but now I think I'm going to vote. No, I think his audience is already solidified, and they are big and they are formidable. You can't be taken for granted, but I don't know. My point is this. It is a circus. It is now suddenly a fun election. All right, let's see here. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to start looking at the polls. Now, I think it's a little bit too soon to really get an idea of what's happening with the polls. I subscribe to that. You got to give it a week to 10 days after these things happen to really see how the polls have settled in people's minds and how they're answering these questions. But the very first poll that we have, let me see here. I'm going to consistently use throughout our tracking of the electoral polls. No, you know what? I don't want to do that. I'm going to consistently use Real Clear Politics. Okay, that is a mass polling site. It includes all of the legitimate polls. And I'm sorry, your Gateway Pundit poll didn't make it to, but this is Ipsos, this is Atlantic, this is Marist, this is, Economist, Rasmussen. These are all those, okay? All right, let's see what we got here. New polls. Okay, let's check them out. Let's see how they change. Boom, here we go. Latest polls, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the latest one. This is for Wednesday. Wednesday, July the 24th. A CNN poll just out today. CNN polls have a margin of error within 5%. This is within that margin of error. Trump and Harris head-to-head, according to a CNN poll, +3. General election, Trump versus Harris versus Kennedy versus Stein versus West. This is an Economist YouGov poll. Trump +3 in a 4 or 5 person race. That's nonsense. We shouldn't even pay attention to those. We should just look at head-to-heads. Okay, so is that all for presidents? Okay, so CNN's got Trump +3 in a head-to-head. That's what we're looking for. Let's go. Here's Tuesday. Here's yesterday's polls. Marist is another legit. Marist has Trump +1 over Harris. That's Marist. That's Trump and Harris head-to-head. These are all within the mark. This is such a horse race now. Trump was pulling away from Biden. He was like 5-6 points. When one poll had him at like 10, he was pulling away. All of a sudden, it's tightened back up. In that stupid Harris campaign that they're going to do like all these concerts, that hasn't even started yet. Like they haven't even like gone after like all the 19-year-old girls with blue hair and stuff yet. I don't know. +1 for Trump. That's a Marist poll. General election. Okay, that's a multi-person. General election, Yahoo News. General election. Are we sharing these? Yeah. Yeah, but you can't see those, right? Can't even see these numbers. All right, I'm going to this one now. General election, Yahoo News. Don't really know that Yahoo News is all of that credible, but whatever. They've got Harris and Trump at a tie. They're at a tie. Okay. Let's see. Whatever head-to-head. Morning Consult. I don't know what that is. That's not a legitimate poll in my mind. I'll have to look into it. Trump versus Harris head-to-head. Morning Consult has Trump +2. Okay. General election, Trump versus Harris. Reuters Ipsos. That's one of the big ones. Those are one of the big ones. The big ones are Marist, Reuters Ipsos, Rasmussen. Those are like the historic polls that you look for. Reuters Ipsos has Harris +2 on this one. That's also a pretty big one. Let's see. What else? Do we have anything else? Landmark Communications put a poll. They've got Trump +1, but what the fuck is Landmark Communications? I don't know what that is. NPR, those are presidential job approvals. All right, there we go. Those are the polls. We'll be watching the polls. We won't spend this much time on the polls every day, but we will watch them, and you'll see. We'll get an idea. I am a believer in the polls. I know that we've all been programmed to think that the polls don't work, but the polls are almost always right. The one I always go back to is Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in 2016, when the polls, when on election day, the polls said that Hillary Clinton was a +4, +5 to win, +4, +5. And then of course Trump won. And everybody was like, don't believe the polls don't work. And I'm like, man, that's some stupid people connecting of dots there, because one doesn't have anything to do with the other. Those polls are popular vote polls. The polls that were put in the ground do not measure the Electoral College. So on election day in 2016, when the polls were saying that Hillary Clinton had a 3 to 5 percentage point lead, they weren't wrong. She won the popular vote by 5 million votes. They weren't wrong. Those polls were correct. It's just that the presidency in that case came down to the Electoral College, which the polls don't measure. The polls have nothing to do with the electoral. So the polls are pretty good. And they're telling us right now that we got a horse race here. So this could be a fun summer, a fun fall, crazy election day, because no matter what happens, I think there's going to be nonsense. No matter what happens, I believe that we are headed for nonsense. All right, how about this? Let's talk about the Trump shooting. We're learning all kinds of stuff now. They've been trotting out people responsible for the whole Secret Service and local police protection. They've been doing that in front of Congress for a couple of days now. Chris Wray, head of the FBI, he's there. He's getting grilled today. Let's see what we know about this. Okay, so here are some of the things that we have learned about what was going on the ground there in Butler, Pennsylvania on that Saturday when President Trump was shot at. God, I'm saying shot at. I'm saying shot at, man. I'm just because I know that I know that he would be totally comfortable lying about if he was grazed rather than it just being glass from some other source. But I do know, like, he would totally be a guy, oh, yeah, totally got shot. And the doctor would be like, he didn't get shot. He's actually, whatever, same difference. Like, because it sells. He's a salesman. One of the reasons why I think he's a con man. So I'm going to, until further notice, he was shot at. He was shot at 8 times by an incredibly terrible shot who unfortunately killed an innocent man, a father, a volunteer fireman, I believe. But here's something that we learned. There were 8 shots. This dude got 8 shots off. I mean, I assumed it was like 2. I did. I thought it was 2. You know why? Because I saw that New York Times picture, which, by the way, the New York Times never said, this is the bullet that hit Trump or whatever. It was just, social media that added that. The dude fired 8 shots. How do we know which bullet that was? We don't. It's just a bullet that grazed by his head. Could have hit him. Would have been terrible if it hit him. But luckily, again, he had a really incompetent sniper who was going after him. A scene from a comedy movie. Anyway, not only an incompetent sniper, but he had incompetent protection. Former president of the United States. He's out there. He's doing his shit talking at the rallies. And, that's a ginned up audience. Anything can happen. It's not like Trump is universally beloved. You got to take extra care to protect a subject like that. It doesn't seem like they did. That dude got 8 shots. Now, that wasn't the most shocking thing that I learned. The most shocking thing that I learned was that there were 2 local county specialist guys, snipers, cops who worked for the county there. And they were assigned to be in a building that looked directly at the building where the sniper climbed atop, right? So we're like, why didn't anybody see him up there? Why is it only people on the ground who were attending Trump's rally? Why are they the only people who seem to have been, well, here's what happened. These 2 cops who were posted at a position that would have stopped him from climbing on the roof left their position because they saw him lurking around the building, and they both left. And they both left and went, oh, where'd he go? And so now they're chasing him. And while they're chasing him around the building, he apparently scurries up and gets up on the roof where he has time to fire 8 shots, 8 shell casings, reported what's found. At least that's what was testified to in front of Congress. 2 local cops left their post to look for crooks. Let's see that it was testified yesterday. I'm not sure who it was. No, yes, I do. It was the Butler County Commissioner who testified yesterday that had they not left their post, these 2 local had they not left their post and just stayed where they were supposed to be, they would have seen him climbing up on the roof. Now, apparently 2 other people saw him climb it. 2 other cops saw him climbing up on a roof and went up after him. But except here, let me read you. I got these notes here. Crooks fired 8 times. Paris is the commissioner's name. The dude's name is Paris. His last name is Paris. The county commissioner, Paris, said that the brief confrontation. Okay, so while the 2 officers who were posted at a position that would have seen him climbing up on the roof, those 2 officers, when they left their post to go look for this suspicious guy who was lurking around, 2 other officers had already spotted this suspicious guy, and they watched him climb up on the roof. And this is where we pick up now. Commissioner Paris said that a brief confrontation came when a pair of local officers who had learned of Crook's position on the roof attempted to climb up and confront the shooter. But while the officer was dangling from the roof, Crooks aimed his rifle at the officers, and the two officers fell off the roof. So they watch a dude climb up on the roof with a gun, and then the cops are like, they're not like, red alert, get him off the stage. They didn't just do that. They just went, well, I'm going to go talk to this fella. I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to talk to this fella, and I'm going to see what. And then while they're climbing up, dude on the roof sees the cops coming up on the roof, turns his gun to them, and they go, whoop, 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 and fall off the roof. I mean, this is all shit that was testified to in front of Congress yesterday. This shit happened. This is on the record. Paris said the brief confrontation came as a pair of local officers who had learned of Crook's position on the roof attempted to climb up and confront him. But while the officer was dangling from the roof, Crooks then aimed his rifle at them, and the officers fell. Commissioner Paris told lawmakers that Crooks was on the roof for roughly 3 minutes. Do you know how long 3 minutes at the distance that he was from Trump? That's not a far distance. Everybody saw him. There were tens of thousands of people in that crowd. They all saw him on the roof. Why would the sniper? Now we see this video of the Secret Service sniper who ends the man's life fairly quickly. Did they not see him? 3 minutes. Everybody saw him, except for the guy that took the kill shot. And, I don't believe in these conspiracy theories. I think that they're ridiculous. But, when something stops being a conspiracy theory because of evidence that's presented, like why did that sniper, who from the video that I've seen, it looks like the sniper has a clear view of the dude on the roof. Why didn't they take him out immediately? Why didn't the police, especially the guys who fell from the roof, or maybe the two that had left their post to go find this guy, why didn't they start screaming into their microphones that something weird has happened? Did they not want to look like pussies? Were they local and trying to be cool around the Secret Service? We'll handle this. We don't need. What the fuck was the breakdown? Because there surely was something. This is a comedy of errors. And again, back to the conspiracy thing, the guy on the roof, the sniper, the Secret Service sniper who ended the man's life. If somebody comes up to me and says, you know what I think that sniper, that Secret Service sniper, was maybe letting him get a couple of shots off before he decided, all right, it's gone too far. I got to take him out now if he can't finish the job. Like maybe that was it. Maybe the sniper was waiting for him to kill the president. I'm talking about the Secret Service guy. Maybe that guy was waiting for the assassin to do his job and take out Trump before he then finished the assassin. If a crazy person came up to me and told me that today, based on what I know from watching what's happened in front of Congress, I would not call that person crazy. I would call that person something we need to look into. Because as soon as that Secret Service sniper made that kill shot on him, it was like the blink of an eye. It was like, yep, okay, that's enough. Boom, dead. It was that quick. So now think about the 3 minutes that this dude was on the roof. I am telling you, man, I didn't think there are a couple of legitimate. There are a couple of conspiracy theories that I believe are legitimate, right? Everything is not a conspiracy theory, but there have been conspiracies that have been pulled against us, the American public. I think JFK Jr. I think JFK, the assassination of JFK, is one of them. I don't think the moon landing is one, okay? I think that there is some truth to some of the crazy ramblings that people have offered up regarding the events immediately following 9/11. Not the events of 9/11. I'm not a 9/11 truther who thinks the government crashed that plane. No. But I do think that some very strange decisions were made by our government in those hours and days immediately following the attacks on New York and Pennsylvania and Washington, D.C. It cannot be denied that there were some very strange and curious things that were done. Those other buildings that crumbled at 7 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night, it's very convenient that some of those buildings went down. A lot of people benefited from those buildings going down, and what a great excuse to just take those buildings down. I don't know. People who got out of the country, all the planes were grounded except for a couple of flights. And we've seen the passenger list on those flights that were allowed to get out of the country. Why? So there are some very real conspiracy theories. Not everything is a conspiracy theory. I'm not a QAnon guy. But I think 2 weekends ago in Butler, Pennsylvania, I think a brand new major American conspiracy theory was born. And again, I'm not an idiot. All right, I'm not like, yeah, it'll be fun to believe that. Let's believe that for the rest of my life. No, if I think something's stupid, I'm like, I don't want to be a person who goes around believing that, right? I don't want people to think that I'm that person. But this is real. This is different. There are some things that need to be questioned. What else do we have? According to Paris, here's another thing. This is another mind-blowing thing. So instead of killing this guy on the roof, I talked about the 3 minutes that he was on the roof. Would you guys be shocked to learn that there was a text thread? There was a group chat going on among local cops about this guy, Crooks. There was a group chat going on for like an hour. Hey, I saw him again. He's a weirdo. I want to see those. I want to see what these guys were talking about. Let's see here. According to Commissioner Paris, there was a text thread going with members of the Butler County Emergency Services Unit, some of whom initially spotted Crooks and reported him as a suspicious individual. Here's a quote now from Commissioner Paris. At some point when he utilized the rangefinder, the suspicion was heightened, Paris said, of Crooks in the spottings of him. State police then received a call and a text from the ESU, that's the Emergency Services Unit. At some point, State police received a call and a text from the Emergency Services Unit about Crooks' activity and about the suspicions they held. They immediately relayed these to the Secret Service. I'm going to read that again. State police then received a call and a text from the ESU about Crooks' activity that they immediately relayed to the Secret Service. Local, state, and federal law enforcement were in a unified command post at the rally. State police verbally turned right around and gave this information instantly to the Secret Service, Paris said. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that in the hours before this event took place, that the local police who were walking, the grounds, had noticed this dude, and they were talking about him, and they were watching him. This dude didn't come out of nowhere. This dude was somebody that they'd had eyes on and suspicions about, and that according to Commissioner Paris of Butler County, all of this information in the hours before the shooting took place, all of this information was immediately handed over to the Secret Service. So he is saying that the Secret Service knew for an hour that this guy was around. They didn't do anything. To the extent that the Butler police and the county police, the emergency services unit, they started a group chat where they're like, hey, maybe something ought to be done about this kid. Maybe just, on the safe side, we arrest him just to be safe. No, there was nothing. The Secret Service didn't do anything. So the guy who testified yesterday, this Commissioner Paris from Butler County, he basically came out and said, look, if you people are going to try and put this on Butler County, I'm going to tell you everything that was going on. We got text threads. We were talking about it. We can back up the fact that the Secret Service were informed from the very beginning. So Butler County is not going to be scapegoated, because there was some of that. There was some of that early on. Secret Service saying, well, this is what happened when we work with the Okies. Bunch of hillbillies down there. No, there's something going on here. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm not fully like, the Secret Service is crooked, but there is something going on here, man. Something weird. All right, let's keep going. So that's it. That's the latest on the assassination. Oh, wait, is there anything more? Is there a couple of new things? I know that Chris Wray is talking today. Nope. Okay. All right, the other big story today, Benjamin Netanyahu. Speaking to the Congress, a whole bunch of people are refusing to show up Kamala Harris is one of them. She's like, I ain't going to go talk to that guy. All right. Also, mass protests occurring right now in Washington, D.C. They are angry that Benjamin Netanyahu, the controversial, the provocative prime minister of Israel, who is a very divisive figure on the global stage at the moment. Some would call him a war criminal. Not us. We're bringing him to Congress. He's going to talk, but very polarizing. Again, I don't know what's going on right now in the city, the streets outside, but I did see as we were signing on here that there were some pretty significant protests going on. There you have it. All right, a couple of questions here in the chat room, since I did just kind of, let my balls flop out on what I'm actually thinking about this Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt. Smee says, do you think it may be one or two people who were in on the attempt instead of all the Secret Service? Well, Smee, see that this is where I am. I couldn't answer that. I don't know. First of all, I don't understand how the Secret Service works. I don't have any working understanding of this. All I know is that someone from the outside looking in the absence of an explanation that makes me go, oh, okay, I have questions. One or two people, well, did they know about the shooter? I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that this looks very suspicious. I used to have all kinds of faith in the United States Secret Service to protect our people. It did a pretty good job. I mean, we lost Lincoln, we lost Kennedy, but since then, been pretty solid. A couple of pot shots were taken. Nobody got killed. But this is either just rank incompetence or there is something else going on. Now, I'm not ready to say there's something else going on. Hughes says, I'm sure every Trump event has a number of suspicious persons walking around. Well, yeah, that's for sure. But harmless. I mean, you can be suspicious and harmless. And look, I'll be honest with you, say the exact same thing for any gathering of Democrats. Anybody who takes time out from their day to go stand in a field and root for a politician with a law degree is bullshit. Let's go. Let's go make a lawyer's ego feel good by standing in the hot sun. For anybody who goes to a political rally is so engaged in that political process and so engaged in partisanship, they're all a little bit weird. So you can see that anywhere. People going out in public wearing their political stuff like it's their sports team. Stop it. It's not a Yankees cap you're wearing, okay? Stupids. What else do we have here? All right, so Benji Netanyahu, he's talking to Congress. And what's going on there? Elon Musk is apparently backing away from a pledge that he made last week. Here's the story. Last week, it was pledged from Musk. He was all in on Trump. He's like, Trump's the guy, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And he made a pledge to give $45 million a month to the Trump campaign for the remainder of the cycle. And now Musk is saying, hold on, no, wait. I mean, I just gave him 45. I didn't mean, I don't think we're gonna. So now he's not doing it every month. He just gave him 45 million. And he's like, hold on. Because it changed. It totally changed. I mean, a guy like Elon Musk pledging $45 million to Trump over the next 4 months and going all in on Trump. That means that Elon Musk himself absolutely believes that Trump is going to win. And Elon Musk, would love to have influence with the president of the United States. That's what's happening right there. If you can't see it, there's something wrong with you. But that is exactly the kind of thing that we are trying to avoid. So all you people who are applauding the fact that Elon Musk is now backing Trump, I mean, what the fuck, man? Anyway. Now that they've made the switch over, Elon Musk is like, yeah, no, it's just going to be 45 million the one time. I'm not as confident that I'm going to have influence. Quite frankly, that one might beat you. And I don't want her mad at me because I did some shit in the last couple of weeks when I thought it was just Trump Biden, but now it's Trump Harris. I don't want to deal with an angry to Elon Musk. Have you ever ridden a city bus with a black woman, Donald? I do not want her in the White House being pissed at me. I'll tell you, I like moving my companies around America. I like moving them to Texas. I don't want to have to move them to Cambodia or wherever once angry President Harris takes over and starts really fucking with me. No, seriously, that's what this is. There's a lot of people, a lot of donors are reconsidering because the metric has changed significantly. It is a completely different race now. And I'm not saying that it's, trust me, I'm not saying it's just going to be better. No, it's just a different strategic race. The Trump campaign was They were on summer break at this point. They got the nomination. They knew they were going against another old guy. They totally figured out how to fucking cook that dude's goose. And they did. They were so effective at it, he quit. And now they've got someone new. And they're like, okay, so we need a new strategy. This is not another white guy. This is now a black woman. She's going to be going hard after, whatever it is. Anyway, it's I could see how it could be frustrating. And the money is going to, a lot of the Trump money is going to stop now because it's not such a slam dunk that it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, he started raising all kinds of money off. And I'm not just talking about individual donors. The individual donors who love Trump, man, they donate all the time, and good for them. That's, they're putting their politics into the money the way rich people do. And we've learned grassroots organizations, ironically enough, to think that Donald Trump could be like a grassroots organization. But grassroots organizations have proven that the individual donor, especially with a message that resonates, can be as powerful as having, one George Soros or a bunch of Elon Musks or whatever it is. I guess there's not. But that's what Trump is really running on, his consistent $5 and $10 donations from the good people of this country who believe in his message. But Musk is out. Musk is like, yeah, the 45 million, no. And a lot of other rich guys have done the same. They're like, okay, hold on. When I was going all in on you, Trump, 2 weeks ago, that was because it was obvious you were going to be president. It's not that obvious anymore. And you got it. This is playing politics. This is all of the stuff that I resent and that I hate. And now it's just being done completely out in the open. And we're all watching it happen and acting like it's normal. And acting like, well, that's how it's done. Rich guys control other rich guys who then run for government. Yes, but we're not supposed to act like it's okay. We're supposed to be like just the gratuitous nature of Elon Musk kissing up to Trump in the last couple of weeks has been absolutely disgusting. It's the world's richest man sucking up to the world's most powerful governor. That's what we're trying to avoid, people. But no, keep carrying water for that class of people. Go ahead, keep doing it. They're doing it out in the open. They're doing it right in our face. We're like, yeah, they're going to make jobs, but they're bringing coal mines back. Yeah, right. Elon Musk is bringing coal mines back. Goddamn, people. Every politician is out there trying to confuse us and con us out of our vote. That's all. I don't want to go on. Anyway, Musk is out. Let's talk about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is out, apparently. Jerry Jones is not that chick's kid, that chick's dad. You know the story about Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones, Jerry Jones is a player, baby. Now let's talk about who Jerry Jones is. If you were to go to jerryjones.com and you were to read the bio, you're going to learn that he's a good man of Christian faith. You're going to learn that he worked his way up from absolutely nothing to be one of the most powerful individuals in the sports world of America. You're going to learn that he loves his wife and his kids and his family and all that stuff. And good Jesus and Texas and Jerry Jones. That's what you'll read. That's the official bio. Of course, we all know Jerry Jones is a little different than that. Jerry Jones is, Jerry Jones likes to run around. Jerry Jones, look, just Google him. From what I understand, he enjoys the company of beautiful women, and they're not always his wife. One such instance, supposedly, I don't know how we're supposed to talk about this now, supposedly created a little girl, a daughter was born, and here, I'm just going to read it to you. So Jerry Jones has a daughter that he never claimed, and the daughter's like, I want, your money or whatever. Or, I want your love, daddy. And Jerry Jones has been like, nope. So I went to court. And guess what happened yesterday? It was ended. Like right before Jerry Jones was going to have to come to the stand and testify and say all kinds of things under oath. Suddenly, they dropped the charges. The family dropped the case or whatever. They were like, never mind, we're fine. Jerry didn't want to have that on the record. Jerry's an NFL team owner. He doesn't want to have it on the record that, yeah, I'm obviously the girl's father, but you know what? Fuck that. It was just a night in a hotel. I didn't mean to have a baby. He didn't want that on the record. He didn't want that kind of thing. That's what I assumed Jerry would have had to have divulged there. Jerry Jones' breach of contract trial abruptly ends. All cases involving Alexandra Davis's paternity claims are dropped. Here's the interesting thing. So everything that Alexandra Davis, she's the daughter of Jerry Jones, and let's not get that confused. She is, in fact, the daughter of Jerry Jones. She was the one who brought a year or so ago, these, not charges, but I guess a civil suit. Anyway, this was not a contentious fight between Jerry Jones and Alexandra Davis. As a matter of fact, Jerry Jones, Alexandra Davis, and Alexandra Davis's mom, the woman that Jerry Jones hooked up with, all those years ago, they went to dinner during this trial while this was going on. They went to dinner 2 nights in a row and went to lunch together minutes before the whole case was dropped. They're friendly. They're friendly. They figured out a way to make this work money-wise. Somebody got paid. I'm certainly, that's Alexandra Davis. I'm sure she got claimed or got money. Jerry wrote a check, a number he was comfortable with. He didn't want to get on the stand. Let me read you the thing. After an extended 2-hour lunch break, following a morning of testimony, court resumed at 1:25 p.m. But it was only for Judge Robert W. Schroeder III to announce that the case, along with all other cases tied to it, had been dropped. Furthermore, the judge revealed that all cases tied to this were dropped by each party. So all of the countersuing and the civil cases on different issues, everything. This issue is over. Jerry wrote a check and he made the whole damn thing go away. Alexandra Davis, she's the daughter. Alexandra Davis, who started this legal back and forth by filing a parentage action against Jones in March of 2022, will no longer pursue that initial case, for which Jones had been ordered by a Dallas County judge to take a paternity test. An earlier defamation case filed by Davis had already been dismissed by the judge. After Schroeder, that's the judge, shared the resolution in court, Jones thanked the jury for their time. Jones said, "I believe the defendants here are all well-meaning," Jones said in court about the Davises. Jones also talked about how Cynthia Davis, that's the mother, was a working mother, and also added that 70% of his players on the Dallas Cowboys didn't have male role models and that their heroes were often their mothers. So Jerry says, "I appreciate working moms." Oh, he's selling. Outside the courthouse, Jones said he was pleased with how the case turned out. "I'm happy this case is resolved," he said. When asked if he had any particular feelings when seeing Alexandra Davis smile today, because she was smiling when it was dropped. So everybody's smiling. That means somebody got paid. And I'm guessing it's not the billionaire. I'm guessing it's the girl who was suing the billionaire. Alexandra Davis smiled today. Well, when asked if he had any particular feelings about seeing Alexandra Davis's smile today, Jones talked about spending his life with so many people around her age. Not her. She's your daughter. You didn't spend your life around her. People like her. Jones talked about spending his life with so many people around her age, particularly his Cowboy players. He said, here's a quote, "I spend my life around young people. I have an appreciation for life ahead and youth and everything that is trying to make it go." Always selling. The Davises. So this is the woman that Jerry knocked up and the daughter that came from that, the Davises. The Davises said while walking out of court that they too were happy with the deal. Their attorney, Jay Gray, said that he was surprised at the outcome, but that everybody was very happy with it. He's quoted as saying, "I haven't seen a smile that big on Alexandra's face in a very long time." Must be a huge check. There must be some big money that was. When asked why this dispute had to go all the way to jury trial before it was resolved, Gray said, "Well, that's just what it takes sometimes." Let's see here. Just prior to the lunch break on Tuesday, Jerry Jones, Alexandra Davis, and her mother, Cynthia, whom Jones embraced in a hug during a break in her Monday trial opening testimony. So she gets up to testify. And after she's done testifying, she walks back down the aisle and Jerry Jones stands up and gives her a big hug. I'm telling you, this is not adversarial. This is all just litigious. When you're a billionaire like that, you don't take court shit personal. It's just like, I just don't want people to know that I got a secret daughter. That's all this is about. But in face-to-face, I like her. She's my daughter. Won't admit that. Just prior to the lunch break ending on Tuesday, Jones, Alexandra Davis, and her mother, Cynthia Davis, whom Jones embraced in a hug during a break Monday, could be seen huddled together in a corner in discussion in the hallway outside the courtroom. According to Babcock, the three had lunch together earlier in the break and dinner the previous night. All right, whatever. Jerry Jones got a daughter. Jerry Jones explained to the daughter why he can't go around going, "You're my daughter," because I don't know, to hurt Steven's feelings. I don't want to hurt Steven's feelings. And what they're good with it. He's like, "Look, well, what if I just give you $150 million? We make this go away and whatever. I don't know what it is. But if I was Jerry Jones's daughter, that's what it's going to take. If I'm Jerry Jones's daughter, it's going to take about $150 million. Do you know what the Cowboys are valued at? The Cowboys are valued at like $8 billion at this point. Maybe even more. So please, Jerry, you're not going to write me a check. You're not going to be like, what if I give you $10,000 a month for the rest of your life? Fuck you, Jerry. You're going to give me like $150 million. And then I'll jump through any hoops you want, dude. You want me to never change my name back from Jones? I'll do that. She wanted to be a Jones. Wanted to be a Jones in Dallas. I'll tell you this much. Being a Jones in Dallas means something, but if she wants to stay in this town, she's a young woman. She's Alexandra Davis. Everybody knows that she's Jerry Jones's illegitimate love child. That you can bank off that in this town. You can do shit with that. You'll get jobs. People will give you a job. You could get famous. You could do a podcast. Imagine she does a Cowboys podcast. Jerry Jones's illegitimate daughter. Oh, tell me that doesn't sound like something we need to do here at Radio Misfits Dallas. All right. Hey, get on that. Somebody reach out to Alexandra Davis about doing a Cowboys postgame show. That's what we want. All right, there we go. We got Jerry Jones. What else do we have here? Let's see. Want to watch a whale eat a boat? Okay. Did you see this going around? This is in New Hampshire. I really don't think much about New Hampshire. Didn't even know that they were on the water until I really thought about it. And I'm like, oh, I guess they're on the water. Here, this is a whale that came out of the water and then basically ate a boat. Can we see this? They're going to make us wait forever. They're going to make us wait forever, aren't they? Going to make us watch a stupid commercial. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's watch this. Every news source has to have their own interesting little media player. Oh, their own. Okay, watch this. This happened in New Hampshire. I'm calling it a whale eating a boat. That's what you should call it too. Look at that right there. First of all, can we just look at that?
You know, he breached up with a mouthful of food and then landed down on here.
Greg, let's watch this.
You know, he breached up with a mouthful of
dude go flying off the boat here. All right, watch this dude here. All right, so we got this guy here, right? And then there's another guy behind him. Just look at this damn thing. We don't belong in the water, people. We don't. It's the arrogance. It's the arrogance of human curiosity. We do not belong in the water.
You know, he breached up with a mouthful of food and then landed down on here.
Greg Paquette from Groveland points out where the skin and blubber is left behind after a massive humpback whale landed on his 23-foot center console.
Been on the water for 40 years. Just have never seen anything like this.
He was probably about maybe 3.5 feet to 4 feet from me.
Ryland Kenny was narrowly missed by the breaching whale, then forced to jump out of the way of the capsizing boat.
I kind of just saw the boat tipping, and I said, the only way to get...
All right, yeah, nobody cares. All right, it was cool. We watched the video. That's all we care about. You jumped out of the way. You're quite the hero. You shouldn't be out. We shouldn't be in the water. We don't. There's shit like that in the water. That's not my speed. Hey, how about this? You want to know another place we should go? You know, it's another thing that we shouldn't do. Here's a hint. I don't know. We do it though because you know why we do it? Because it's normal. It's been normalized that this is just something that what could go wrong? Nothing could go wrong. Not me. I'm not a fan of this stuff. Did you hear about what happened in Yellowstone yesterday? Geysers, right? So this is another idiot human thing. It's like, hey, there's this place in Earth where it seems real volatile. Seems like shit's gonna just pour out from the inside. We should all gather around and watch it. That's what geysers are. I don't think geysers are charming. I don't think they're cool. I'm like, something's going on here. And something bad's going to happen at some point. At some point, this is not just going to be a good moment for an Instagram picture. No, this happened. This happened in, we'll make it big. Yellowstone. This is called Biscuit Basin. I'm familiar with Yellowstone. I don't know if you are, but Biscuit Basin is a geyser. And you can see the little walkway there. There's a little wooden walkway, and there's a viewing platform. And the viewing platform is obviously set up and designed with great care. They understand how big this eruption will be in the viewing platform. I'm sure they err on the side of the security and safety of the tourist. But they didn't count on this. So yesterday, for some reason, at Biscuit Basin, the geyser went off like it goes off all the time, except it went off like with 1,000 times more power. Watch this. Yesterday at Yellowstone. Right now, it's like a horror movie, right? They're all running. They're like, oh, did you see the giant rocks that were thrown like 100, 200 feet in the air when this thing goes up? I mean, that shit's got to come down. And there's people on a viewing platform just watching it going, isn't this a great trip to Yellowstone? Y'all out here trying to sell tickets to Mother Nature. And I'm telling you, you can't count on that. Look at how big that was. Holy God. All right, so they had to run away. All right, now let me show you this. Let me show you the aftermath. We'll see what it looks like after when it all settled down. Here, this is the aftermath. There it is. Okay, check this shit out.
So I can make this up stable, walk right where I'm walking.
Sorry, here, we'll start it over. All right, so these are the same people who were just running, okay? We saw the eruption. This is the after. It completely destroyed the deck, the viewing stand, the walkway, covered the extended walkway with, you see it at rubble or whatever the hell this is. They were too close, is my point. Their best guess about, this is good enough. People will be safe here. They were way too close. People were not safe. Luckily, nobody was injured. They all got out on time. But it's just for the grace of God that nobody took a giant 20-pound chunk of rock to the head. I mean, those things flew up into the air.
Let me go first so I can make this up stable. Walk right where I'm walking. I'm going to say everybody wants to move out of here really quickly because we don't know how safe this is.
Everybody move out of here very quickly. We don't know how safe this is. Well, I think you know that it's not safe at all. You just witnessed that. Just get the fuck out of there. Let a bunch of dudes in white coats come in and try and figure out what happened, because they're the ones who probably advised on where that viewing platform should have been. Yellowstone. I got no interest in fucking with Mother Nature. You know what I want to do? I want to look at Mother Nature and I want to say, Mother Nature, you are a beautiful, beautiful woman. But I don't want to go inside you. I don't want to go in the woods. I don't want to weather. No, thank you. Mother Nature needs to be respected. Geyser. This is just a long way of me saying I hate camping. That's hotels. Love hotels. Air conditioning, room service. Love that. And I'm not talking about motels. I do not like a place that opens up to a parking lot. If my door opens up to a parking lot, that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about elevators, bellhops, room service, maybe a lounge. That's what I like. You know what I call camping? I call camping staying at one of them hotels where the door does open to the parking lot. That's what I call camping. I call camping staying in a hotel that doesn't have room service after 10 o'clock. That's camping to me. I don't want to go camping. I'm too soft. I'm not even remotely interested in laying in dirt, being a big giant sausage for some bear. I woke up in a car once with a bear on the hood. Yeah, I've been through it, okay? I don't need that anymore. Moving on. You want to see something brilliant? Okay, so I'm always I'm always looking out for the next $1 billion idea. I love the next $1 billion idea. I don't know if this is a $1 billion idea, but this is super clever. kind of thing that I see that I wonder, why the hell didn't somebody come up with this a long time ago? So this is a new, maybe it is. Look, here's what I'm saying. It's the first time I've ever seen it. Never seen this in a bar, never seen it anywhere. Could totally see how you could sell 1 million of these to bars all across America. Even if every bar, every sports bar or whatever only has one. Why would they want one? They probably want to get 2 or 3. It doesn't have to be the whole bar. Although, wait a second. Why not? Why can't the entire bar be this? Check this out. This is the greatest. These are football tables, new football tables. I believe this is in, I don't know, Asian country. They always do the best stuff. They always do the best innovative stuff. Do you see what we're looking at here? Okay, so it's a table. It's just like a table in a bar where you sit there. They're sitting there right at the bar. But your feet underneath the table become like a soccer game where you're playing a real soccer game. I don't know. Here it is. Check it out. Look at that. Look at this. Boop, boop. This is great for a date. This is like look at these two. They're like, we're drinking our beer. It's a regular pub table, but I'm scoring on you, woman. Look at that. Look at this. This is terrific. Great idea. I can see that being a big hit. Oh, you Gen Zers. That's pretty clever. I like that. I call that brilliant. Let's see here. Let's go through this list here. Fastest growing cities in America. You know how I love my lists, and we love to make fun of places we don't live. So let's look at what this list. Fastest growing cities. Oh, here's why I've got this list. Because it's all right here. It's all in Texas. You know that 9 of the top 10 fastest growing, 9 of the top 10 fastest growing cities, towns, municipalities in America are right here in the great state of Texas. We are exploding. We are becoming our own thing. Look out. Yeah, I say we. I've been here long enough. Shut up. I say we. Number 1, fastest growing place in America. Woo, people getting money. Early investors in this town, they're going to make some money. Salina, Texas. Salina, Texas is the fastest growing place in America. Second fastest growing place in America. Full Shear, Texas. I don't know where that is. Let me see where Full Shear, Texas is. Hold on. Full Shear, Texas. Let's go to the map. Where is this? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, there you go. All right, so it's like between Austin and Houston. There you go. That makes sense. Full Shear is between Austin. Royce City is the 3rd fastest growing place in America. Melissa is the 3rd or 4th fastest growing. Now, this is interesting. Because Princeton, Texas is next, and then comes Anna, Texas. Salina, Anna, and Melissa. Do I have the story right? Because these are all fairly close. They're in the same area of North Texas. Anna, Salina, and Melissa. The story that I was told was that these are the 3 daughters of the dude who developed all of those places. Is that true? Salina, Anna, and Melissa? And I don't even know if this was they're his daughters. He developed it in the 1980s or the 1880s. I don't know how far ago they go, but because I remember asking, I was friends with the police chief there in Anna, or maybe it was Melissa. I don't know. But I was friends with the police chief there. We hung out at the same bar. And I was talking to him, and I'm like, so what is the difference between Salina, Anna, and Melissa? They was like, wow, and then I think he told me that. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Anyway, what else do we got here? Fastest growing. We have Forney, Texas at number 9, and then number 10 is Amherst, Massachusetts. So it's all Texas places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on this list of the fastest growing places in America. And then at number 10, you get Amherst, Massachusetts. And then at 11 and 12, you go back to Texas. Manor, Texas, Georgetown, Texas. All right, there you go. How about the cities places in America that are experiencing the largest loss of population? The cities that are shrinking. The number one city that is shrinking in America is St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis is down 6.2%. Greenville, Mississippi is number 2. 6.3%. We don't care. These are all small towns. Let's name the big ones. San Francisco, California is down 7.1%. There you go. All right, fastest growing and quickest shrinking places in America. A new trailer is out for a movie that I'm interested in seeing. Do you like Jeremy Allen White? Are you a big Jeremy White fan? He, of course, plays Carmen there. Maybe you go deep like me. Maybe you remember him as Lip from Shameless, Lip Gallagher. But whatever. He's Carmy on The Bear. Everybody loves him. He's like a big movie star, or going to be a big movie star. Anyway, the first movie that Carmy is doing... the first movie that Carmy is doing is the Bruce Springsteen biopic. About the making of Nebraska. Carmy, I call him that. Jeremy Allen White, that's the actor's name. He's doing a Bruce Springsteen biopic about the making of Nebraska, which me, as a Springsteen guy, I'm like, yeah, they picked the most dramatic. They picked what's going to be like. Anyway, so I'm rooting for him. However, there is another big biopic. I love all these biopics. It's the story of Bob Dylan. It stars Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet playing Bob Dylan in Complete Unknown. Now, of course, that's a line from Rolling Stone, like a complete unknown. All right, let's watch it. New trailer is out for Timothy Chalamet, the Bob Dylan biopic, Complete Unknown.
I want to tell you a little story. A few months back, my friend Woody Guthrie and I, we met a young man. He dropped in on us out of nowhere and he played us a song. In that moment, we got a feeling we were getting a glimpse of the future.
Oh, where have you been, my blue-eyed son? Oh, where have you been, my darling young one? I stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains. I walked and I crawled on 6 crooked highways. I stepped in the middle of 7 sad forests. I've been out in front of a dozen dead oceans. I've been 10,000 miles in the mouth of a graveyard. And it's a hard, oh, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rain gonna fall. That's how I got so far.
Good start.
All right, there you go. The first trailer out for the new James Mangold film, Complete Unknown. What is that? That's YouTube. I'm hearing it. All right, guys, that's going to do it. We are done. There's another trailer that I was going to show you, but it's for the Joker 2. You can go find it. It's very long, and honestly, I'm not a Joker guy. I thought the Joker film was like way overrated. It was for like superhero dorks, like dorks who just love all superhero movies, but who also want to seem like they're the smart ones of the superhero dorks. The Joker was not a great movie. I'm sorry. It was very self-involved. It was very dark, very slow, very plotting. I think the performance, Joaquin Phoenix's performance was terrific, but the actual story didn't compel me to want to watch another one. So anyway, Joker 2's out. You can watch that if you want. Lady Gaga. No, I mean, wait, Lady Gaga, I kind of like her. Oh, by the way, speaking of Lady Gaga, so I was telling you about how on Hulu I had watched this new, no, was it Hulu? No, I think it was Paramount Plus. No? Fuck. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's on one of these things. It's a documentary series. It's a 4-part or maybe 3-part. Who cares? Who counts? It is a multi-part docu-series about Lollapalooza. It's called Lolla, and it's really good. It's really interesting. There's a lot of like really fascinating. Well, if you're Gen X or if you've ever been to a Lollapalooza, it's really good. But man, there is like this story arc that follows Lady Gaga, like, and her path through Lollapalooza. And I was shocked because it was like 2005 or something, like long before Lady Gaga was famous. Lady Gaga played like a side stage, like, hey, here's where the rookies you've never heard of come and play. And she played this side stage at Lollapalooza in like 2005 or something. I don't know. Maybe it was after that. I shouldn't get bogged down in that detail. And they showed the video and they showed her playing to this crowd. She was killing this crowd as like a complete unknown in 2005. It was a little side stage and she had thousands of people and they were all just grooving to what she was doing. And then here's the other thing that was insane. She was smoking hot. She was smoking hot. She was wearing a bikini and high heels, and she didn't have crazy meat dress. She wasn't, looking weird. She was selling the sex. She did her entire set in like a bra and panties and high heel. It was hot. I'm like, Jesus, that is Lady Gaga. So that was like her first Lollapalooza. And then they talked about how this chick came back every year. For like, she come back the next year, she's playing a small stage, come back the next year, playing a small stage. Then she took a couple of years off and came back and played the main stage on closing night to the largest crowd in the history of Lollapalooza. It's a really cool story. And I was like, that's good for her. Look, I don't know if you know this or not, but I like Lady Gaga. I'm her music. I'm not like, whatever. But like as a chick, as like one of them dudes, yeah, man, she's impressive. She's very impressive, very smart. Very talented, classically trained. She's a child prodigy, right? She was training at like 6 years old with the New York Philharmonic or whatever. She's like the 5-year-old playing piano with them. No, she's amazing. She's really talented. And she wears funky meat dresses, which is fun. Wait, was that her? Was that her? I'm going to say something I think is probably going to make Adam Reyna upset, but I often considered I consider Lady Gaga to be the more talented Katy Perry. Basically, she's Katy Perry with talent. That's who Gaga is. I'm sure Adam's angry now. That's okay. He'll get over it. All right, folks, that's going to do it. We are done. That is the High Noon Rant for today, a Wednesday afternoon. Join me with James Parker today, WBAP. 4:30, I'll be on with James Parker doing my entertainment report. Not entirely sure what I'm going to be talking about yet. Don't know. We'll have to figure that out. WBAP 93.3 FM, James Parker. His show starts at 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Join me over there at 4:30, won't you? Other than that, we'll be back tomorrow. One more time, I want to throw a great big thank you to our executive producer of today's show, the lovely and talented Tracy D. Thank you so much, Tracy. If you want to be executive producer on tomorrow's show, or if you just want to help out the show with a little gratuity, drop a little something there. I'll give you the opportunity by leaving that up. Go to it. All right, guys, that's it. I love you. We're done. Oh, I can't believe I didn't even mention this. Adam says, I like Katy Perry more, but I think Lady Gaga is far more talented. Oh, okay. I thought you were like just a complete Katy Perry Kool-Aid drinker, which is interesting because she's so frivolous and you tend to have deeper tastes in, those things, but whatever. Hey man, what's that Fireworks song? That Fireworks song she did was good. I like that song. Just poking at Adam a little bit. So last night, goddamn, this was awesome. So last night, my kid was being a jerk. I got my kid for an extra day. I told you that I was taking him home yesterday. I didn't have to. He hung out for an extra day. Bonus days, we call them. And he was being a dick. He was just being a dick about stuff. Like, I went for a dog walk with him. I swear to God, I exploded on the street. I exploded on a sidewalk on my 15-year-old in public, and he was mortified. He didn't know. Take the dog for a walk. It's like 9 o'clock. First of all, I was shocked that he wanted to go for a walk with me, because usually it's like, I'm taking the dog for a walk. You want to come? And he's like, no, I'm going to stay here on my phone. And then I go out for 40 minutes by myself. So for some reason yesterday, I'm like, you want to go for a walk? And he's like, okay, I'll go. And I'm like, all right, why do you want to go for a walk? First of all, it was really nice last night. Gorgeous. So we took an extra long walk. Walked around the Dallas Country Club, over by a park there on McFarland Avenue, if you're familiar with the University Park area. But man, it's like we're walking and we're having these nice conversations and all this shit. My 15-year-old, every single thing out of his mouth was an insulting criticism of me in some way, shape, or form. It's like he couldn't say anything. My 15-year-old son could not just walk the dog with me. We couldn't have like a, an Andy Griffith show moment where we're just like, walking and talking and, bonding. No. It started out with, you look like a bum. Why do you walk the dog dressed like that? I was wearing a black t-shirt that had a hole right up here. He's like, you look like a bum. Why do you go out and walk the dog like that? And I'm like, oh God, okay. Then it moved into, you don't know how to walk a dog. You don't know how to do. She shouldn't be pulling like that. And I'm like, dude, I let her pull because she's a super athlete and this is all the exercise she gets. Well, you shouldn't do that. She doesn't. I'm like, oh God, okay. And then she starts sniffing. Why do you let her sniff like that? You shouldn't let her do that. That's not good for her. And criticism after criticism after criticism. We're walking by. We're looking at houses. I go, look at that. That's a beautiful house. And he goes, I don't like that one. I like that one. And he just picks out a different one. It's real confrontational. And at some point, I don't even remember what the trigger was, but at some point I just stopped and we're walking and we're on a sidewalk in a beautiful neighborhood. I just stopped and I go, would you stop being so insulting? And he's like, what? And I go, dude, do you realize that everything that you have just said over the last 20 minutes has been an insult? Everything that you bring up is an insult. And of course, then the other thing he said that I let the dog was rolling around. He's like, don't let the dog roll in there. And I'm like, relax. She's okay. And I'm like, see what I mean? You got a criticism for everything. Now you can't even let the dog have fun. Why are you being such a stick in the mud? That's what I say to him. So we continue our walk and we're walking and it smells like shit. It smells like shit. It smells like one of us stepped in shit. It smells like, did I step in shit? But I'm not saying anything because we're being kind of silent. So after silent, because I yelled at him in public on the street there, after being silent, he goes, something smells like shit. I'm like, and I agree with him. I'm like, no. He's like, it's probably the dog. It's probably the dog. The dog probably rolled in shit. I told you shouldn't have let him roll there. And I'm like, dog did not roll in shit. The dog rolls all the time. I'm starting to get really angry now. Sure enough, yeah, he was right on that one. The dog rolled in shit. He was right. I shouldn't have let the dog roll where I let the dog roll. And I think that normally I wouldn't have let the dog roll where I let her roll. But the reason I let her was because the kid had been so hypercritical about absolutely everything. I just wanted him to shut up. I just wanted him to. So he was right about that. So anyway, we take the long walk, and I think here's the great thing about my 15-year-old, okay? He does realize, like, if he has a moment to reflect and put it all into perspective, he has guilt, he has shame, and he will try and make up for it. So after that, we were being quiet. He just turns to me, and he says something that he just knows is going to put me in a good mood. He just knows he can wipe the slate clean. He turns to me last night, and he goes, hey, Dad, I really want to watch the Blues Brothers with you. I'm like, what? Hell yeah. He can say that. He can say Ferris Bueller. There's a couple of movies. Dad, I really want to watch The Right Stuff with you. Like he can do all of that stuff. Those are all wing options. And he was willing to do that. I thought that was awesome. He's like, I watched Blues Brothers. So we watched Blues Brothers and he stayed awake for the whole thing. And I really think he enjoyed it. And we were making fun of it. And we were making fun of how that would never happen. All kinds of things. Anyway, we had a nice night last night. And now I got to go. I got to take him home. Love you guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Again, like, follow, subscribe. I'm gonna find the Radio Misfits Dallas stuff. We're gonna have a new Facebook page. We're gonna have all of this. If you see it out there floating around, please like it. Like, subscribe, forward, bring friends to the party, onward and upward. This is the end of my stream of consciousness. It is me, Pugs, at the E-Gallery Studio in Dallas's beautiful design district on RadioMisfits.com. See you back here again tomorrow at noon.